Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about taking off the mask. But before we get into it, I wanted to talk about something hypocritical that I said in my last video. The entire point of my last video was loving your enemies. However, there was a point in the video that I caught where I said, I despise people that do this. And that's wrong and hypocritical on my part because I don't despise anyone. What I do despise is sin. And unfortunately, we all sin. We all do really bad things. But it doesn't give me a reason to despise someone over it, considering that it's inevitable. So I just wanted to apologize for that hypocrisy. Instead, I should have worded it to say, I hate when people do this. There's no room for hating anyone, no matter what they do. There's always a good side in people. And I failed to see that when making my last video. And I just realized it and I wanted to talk about it real quick to get it out. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. You already know the drill. If I say anything triggering or offending, please let me know because that's the last thing I want to do. You gotta stop putting on a mask in order to deceive someone, bro. Stop acting generous when you know that's not who you truly are. Stop acting nonchalant when you know that you're someone who deeply desires care and affection. Have you ever thought about when people say, oh, in public, I act like I'm all calm, like I'm all peaceful, but when I'm with my friends, I act all crazy? And it's so normalized, but coming from my perspective, I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. Whether in public or private, you should be able to express yourself as you truly are. It's an eerie feeling walking out in public and seeing a bunch of clones in the same area. It's like seeing a bunch of stormtroopers from Star Wars in the same area, yet there's someone different under each costume. And it was never supposed to be like that. What are you afraid of? Giving someone the ick? I've had so many people say to me that my characteristics are unattractive. Whether it was, you're too loud, you talk too much, can you just shut down your energy for once? And back then, it used to impact me. It used to define me. And during middle school and high school especially, I became someone who was really quiet in public. I never talked in class. Until my senior year, I started getting more and more comfortable and I started just being myself again, and it was the best feeling ever. However, I still struggled with it in other public areas. I was like a caterpillar in a cocoon that was afraid to fly, although it was already time. But one day, I decided to break out of that cocoon and I soared to the skies, and people hated it. They didn't hate me, they just hated that I was doing something that they were too afraid to do. And if you're in that cocoon right now, it's time to fly, bro. Your wings are there for a reason. Sure, as you're soaring the skies, it might feel lonely. But would you rather be alone and happy or in the wrong crowd and sad? It is much more unattractive to fake an identity than it is to just simply be yourself, bro. Whether in public or in private. It doesn't matter whether you have flaws or weird attributes that people might say something about. Embrace that shit. Because it's what makes you you. Now, I already made a video on staying true to yourself and your journey. However, this video is going to go over the love aspect on the topic. When it comes to love and having a crush that you really, really like, I know what it's like to turn yourself inside out into someone you're not, just so that you can please them and continue going with them. During my senior year of high school, I dated a really social girl, and at the time, I wasn't that social, especially when it came to meeting new crowds. Everywhere I went with her, I was always in a crowd where she was the only person I knew. I felt really uncomfortable, yet I decided to continue disregarding my feelings just so that I would make her happy. There was another time where I talked to a girl whose only intent was to have sex, and I'm not a lustful person. Yet, I decided to play along because I was afraid of seeming like a scaredy cat. It never felt right. It went against my morals. It went against my faith. And after about a week, I decided to just stop pursuing her. And yeah, she ghosted me after I told her how I truly felt. But I never felt so free before that. Nobody in this world, no matter how attractive they are, no matter how much you like their personality, is worth changing your identity for. No one, bro. You gotta realize that there are literal fish everywhere in the sea. And I know, it's kinda hard to take that saying into consideration without experiencing it, but you don't want to go through that experience. I've already been through it, and I'm just advising you that if you decide to go down that route, you will be in for a rude awakening. If you don't like something about someone, don't change yourself and don't mold yourself just to like what they like. Either confront it, leave, or ignore it. All three options are hard, but as one of my great friends told me, you gotta choose your battles. Portraying a false identity to make someone like you is also one of the main reasons that most relationships, especially nowadays, end up infatuated. A lot of people, and I've done this too, portray themselves on social media, especially Instagram, as someone that they're not, just so that they can deceive a certain audience. And I know how it feels. I've been on both ends. I was the one deceiving, and I was the one who got deceived. I know how it feels when you meet that one significant person, the deceiver, and you have all these feelings for them. Your heart's racing, your mind's going back and forth at 100 miles an hour because of the emotions you feel. Oh my gosh, this person's so perfect. I gotta marry them. This is the one. Let me just tell you, if you call someone perfect, or if someone calls you perfect 2 weeks or less into that relationship, you're cooked, bro. I've been called perfect by 3 girls really early on, and every single time, bro, that shit went to fucking waste. So now let's get back to the story. You start to lose control over yourself, and you start shifting your identity just so that this person can like you. It might feel like you're in love because you're in the moment, but listen, bro, as someone who's been through it, that is simply emotional puppetry. Emotional puppetry basically means that you're not in control of your emotions. Your emotions are so riled up to the point where that person you like is dictating how you feel and how you move throughout the day. And as someone who's been through that, and as someone who's put people through that, bro, it's a bad fucking feeling. If you have to become someone else in order to be loved, that's just not love, bro. And if you still don't understand, let's continue the story. At first, putting on that mask to portray someone that you're not, it worked. Everything's on fire and you're on a roll. That person likes you, they like what they see, they like what they hear. But what happens when you guys start getting more comfortable down the road? You can't keep this up forever. And don't say you can, bro. I've tried and I failed every single fucking time. You will break. And now, you're in a predicament. The mask, it starts slipping time after time, and this person is slowly realizing the true colors that you've been hiding behind. This person is now realizing that you are so much more different from when they first met you. So now there's confusion, there's distance, potentially arguments. And I hate to break it to you, but this would have never happened if you were just authentic from the start, whether or not it worked out. This happened to me with the last girl that I talked to about a year ago. She wasn't really a fan of curse words, and I'm a person that curses a lot. I don't curse to offend people, I just use it as a way of expressing my true emotions. So after I figured out that she doesn't like cursing, I completely shut off cursing when I was around her. But I would always do it like around my friends, anywhere where she wasn't. And eventually, I broke. Because one day we were playing pickleball with a group of friends, and I'm a really competitive person. And every time we lost a round, I literally cursed and I said, "Fuck, god damn it, motherfucker," out loud, bro. And in that moment, I already knew what I had done, but it felt so relieving just to be myself. But it sucks that I had to get to that point. And if you're going through this right now, bro, or if you've gone through it in the past and you still don't know how to process it, I know what you're going through. I know how it feels like to constantly think, oh, if I show myself, if I show my true colors, this person may or may not like me. But listen, bro, would you rather be loved for who you're not, or would you rather be rejected for who you are? Forcing a connection through performance only guarantees pain later on. When you are your authentic self, 4 main things will happen. With number 1 being the fact that you'll actually attract people who align with you, who like you, for your beliefs, your morals, and the way you simply are. Number 2, your foundation of trust gets built on bricks rather than sand. Number 3, you avoid wasting time on people chasing you for a version of you that doesn't exist. And number 4, most importantly too, you maintain your self-respect. You maintain your dignity. Nothing chips away at your confidence more than pretending to be someone that you're not, just in order to deceive a certain audience. To give you a different perspective on this topic, let's flip the script now. Imagine you're the one being deceived this time. You fucking like this person. You think, oh my gosh, this person's awesome. They totally align with who I am, and I love this person. You spend time with them, and you enjoy every single second of it. Then suddenly, everything about them changes. Their sense of humor, their true colors start coming out, and it's not what you thought you saw from the beginning. Everything just changed. Would you feel safe in that relationship? Would you be able to trust them from then on? Fuck no. This isn't what I signed up for, you fucking liar. What else are you hiding? I'm telling you, bro, putting on that mask does some serious fucking damage, and you don't want to be on either end of it. Not only does it hurt the other person, but it also backfires on you. You lose yourself in the process, you start questioning your worth, and you forget all the things that you liked because you molded yourself to fit this person's personality for them. And on some real shit, bro, if a motherfucker doesn't like you for who you are, just fucking let go. It doesn't matter how beautiful this person is, and I know how it feels like, bro, but you gotta do it for yourself and for this other person. The right one will not force you to shrink yourself. They will ascend you. The right one will love you for your flaws. They will help you embrace that shit. Being the real you might scare the fake people away, but the real people, bro, just like you, they're gonna love that shit and they'll start coming your way. And that's a connection worth waiting for. A real connection. In the Bible too, it teaches about putting on a mask to deceive a certain audience. And I'm not trying to inflict religion, but I do ask that you view my perspective. Jesus literally says that if you pretend to be someone you're not, just to get attention from people or from a certain someone, that attention is the only reward that you will receive. Nothing else. You will not grow, nor will you change. Doing good deeds just for show is simply manipulation in disguise. You're not being real, you're being strategic. And with that, I encourage you to ask yourself these questions. What am I hiding from the world? And what am I burying just so that I can be accepted? And when you answer those motherfuckers, bro, be so honest and be so truthful. And from there, take a look at what you wrote down and then embrace that shit. Go out and make those flaws something that you can love. It's the first step towards living confidently. And my final message before I let you guys go, instead of asking yourself, oh, what will the world think of me just for doing this? Ask yourself, what will I think of myself for not doing this? Go out and have fun, bro. You fucking deserve it. You deserve all of it. I'll see you soon.